News Talk 820 WBAP. It's Hal J. and Ernie Brown. It's the morning news, and we're glad to have you here because we have important information about a refinery expansion down in the Golden Triangle.
Yes. How about this?
And we thought there were not going to be any new refineries built or expanded. We thought that this was kind of going to become a thing of the past.
Well, in the same day, and I'm looking for the story, that Biden yesterday said he's going to shut them down.
Yeah.
But this expansion is like building a new refinery.
Yeah. 250,000 more barrels of oil will be processed per day. So, I mean, this is a big deal. Ray Trevino joins us. He runs Pecos Country Energy, a privately owned oil and gas exploration and production company in Fort Worth. Ray, can you tell us what this is going to do for our production here in the United States, this expansion?
Oh, this expansion here is going to actually help us most importantly, become truly energy independent from the other nations here around the world, and help bring us back to energy security.
How did they manage to get this done, given all the objections in Washington to anything fossil fuel?
Great question. Called loopholes in the regulations. You guys said it. This was actually a redo. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the word, but basically they went into an old area, knocked down some old refining properly, safely, and rebuilt this 250,000 barrel per day refinement. And on an existing refinery. That's where the loophole it was. This was already on property that was already a refinement, and so that's how they were able to get this done.
This will bring us back to efficiency as far as our oil goes. Will the politics allow this to happen for us to be independent from other countries?
It will slowly help us do that, yes, gentlemen. What this 250,000 barrels per day equals is a small refinery anywhere in the nation. Just that. So that's how big this refinery is down there in the Golden Triangle, Beaumont, Texas area. So this is the equivalent of a small refinery that has just been built.
You know, I went through an interesting story when I was living in San Diego. I had one of the representatives from the assembly, the legislature, come on, and he was out screaming and yelling because gas prices had gone up so high because there's only one refinery left. They haven't built a new refinery since, I think, 76.
Yeah.
And so they're constantly having to repair these things, and they demand different blends of gas, and so the refinery has to go in and retool and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he said the oil companies won't build new refineries so they can keep the prices high. And I said, so if somebody came to the legislature in Sacramento and said they want to build a new assembly or a new refinery, you're all for that, right? Well, no, we wouldn't allow that kind of that fossil fuels or etc.
See, yeah, that's just
you got crazy people making oil policy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's my question for you, Ray. Crazy people making oil policy.
Yes. Right now, I had an opportunity to sit in with some of those the Republican politicians in a meeting one day, and they basically said that if the Democrats could flip a switch today to shut off fossil fuel, they would, and then they'd pop the champagne bottle. They have no idea what they're doing and how they're truly affecting the American people today. That's the other good thing that ExxonMobil has done with this 250 barrel per day addition refinery. It actually processes sweet crude, which is what we produce here in Texas in the Permian Basin. Oh, and throughout all the rest of Texas, okay? So that means that will refine our own oil. I'll give you the crude truth, gentlemen. Most refineries in America actually refine that bad gunky oil from overseas, from the Middle East and whatnot, that these refineries cannot handle the sweet crude that we produce here in America. So this is just a great way that ExxonMobil is doing some great things to, help us out here in America. I mean, 26 miles of pipelines, 37 miles of electrical wiring were all done for this new project. Do you know how many jobs that created just during this little bit of time? That's awesome.
Back to the oil problem, not a problem, but when they start doing this expansion on this oil refinery, do they expect protesters to come down to try to stop it? Will there be a lot of security there?
I would think that there is going to be a lot of security there. And keep in mind, gentlemen, this expansion, it's already running at full capacity. So these individuals that are protesting, fortunately there are fences and gates around, so they can do all the protesting they want around it. But hey, guess what? All their markers and all their poster board, you know what? They all have petroleum chemical products in it that they need to protest.
So it's already flowing then. This is already done. The expansion is done. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Is that going to bring the price of gas down? Because I noticed this weekend when I filled up, I was up to $3.60.
Oh, I wish. That's still just due to the markets and with everything that's been going on here in America with the banks falling apart a couple of weeks ago. It's all speculation.
This is something I think we need to explain this, how it works, because a lot of folks will say that this is an opportunity. Oil companies are screwing us, and they're making all these extra profits that they're not entitled to. How does the market work that drives up the price to where it is now, or even higher as it was in the past?
Great question, Hal and Ernie. It's really all created by the people in New York at the stock exchange, and the markets is what they say dictate the price that they need to see. And so when we had the banks fail in California about a month ago, there was panic in the market as a whole for commodities as a whole, because oil and gas is a commodity just like oranges and pork and things like that. So where it created a little bit of a scare, and the prices shot up almost $10 in about a 2-week time period a month ago. So these people in New York are actually ones that create that price and use what they feel the supply and demand is. But also we are looking at China fully reopening back up after their COVID lockdowns, and that's actually happening. They're truly opening up this time, which is also using a lot of our supply right now.
And before we go, just one really quick question. Am I seeing things, or is diesel now cheaper than regular gas?
It is.
What happened?
Well, if y'all, gentlemen, I'm sure y'all remember this. I do remember growing up, diesel was always less.
Always
less. And so right now, just due to the market, and again, due to the refinery space and how the chemicals and the additives that go into diesel, it's a lot less right now. And we're also seeing that hopefully some of these prices are finally coming down from the supply chain issues that we've had over the last 18 months.
Yep.
So we could hopefully see some prices come down in the near future.
All right.
All right, Ray Trevino runs Pecos Country Energy. Ray, thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, gentlemen.